Let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the JSE that got a good handover from the Asian markets once again. Of course, the market's still digesting the stimulus package coming out of China that has been one of the pillars of the rally that we have seen recently. But seeming that the all-share actually not really continuing the cheer that we did see from the Asian markets. We did have earlier on a loss just under 1%. But seeming that has extended with the all-share declining over 1%. But of course, we are still seeing quite those recent gains still reflected in the JSE with those points just under 87,000. The carrier of most of those losses, the resources, a 10 complex with a slump there just shy of 2%. Financial 15 with a decline of almost 1.5%. And the industrial 25 with a loss of more than 0.75%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the U.S. markets and quite mixed trading that we are seeing over there. Also, it's been quite interesting to see the turnaround in those markets. Of course, we started off the month of September shaky, but we did see those markets rallying there. But today we are seeing the NASDAQ currently being the only bourse in the green territory. 0.05% above that flat line, the S&P 500 declining 0.02%, relatively flat. And the Dow there giving up 0.25%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets across the Atlantic. And what was quite interesting today is the pressure that we did see on the automakers after Stellantis cut its annual guidance. We are seeing a sea of red. FTSE 100 declining almost 0.9%. The CAC 40 carrying the bulk of those losses, losing almost 2%, and the DAX shedding more than 0.6%. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand still quite strong, but maybe a little bit weaker than we saw last week at 17 rand at 25. Just weakness of over 1% against the US dollar currently. The rand against the pound at 23 rand 12, and against the euro at 19 rand 23. Let's take a look at what is happening with the other currency pairs, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.11, pound dollar at 1.34, and the yen just above 143 against the US dollar.